Hi, this is Kelly from Kelly Lee's Physical Therapy, and today I just wanted to go over my top 5 favorite stretches that you can do while you're working from home. This is especially beneficial since, these days many of us are working from home and will be continuing to work from home, or even if you're recently starting to be back at the office, these are things that you can also easily incorporate throughout your work day in your desk chair. So, we all get that stiff feeling in your neck and shoulders and upper back. So I'm going to show you some really easy and quick ways to help relieve that and fix it that you can sneak in through the course of your day, and that will help to greatly prevent risk of injuries, especially musculoskeletal injuries, which if left unchecked can become more serious. We don't want that to happen, so we'll go with the top 5. The first one, which we'll always come back to, sitting in the best posture that you possibly can, is one of my all-time favorites, and I do it every day myself, is the upper trap stretching. Your upper traps run along the side of your neck, and so what I would do is just sitting as tall as you can, keeping your face square. You want to bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, which as I'm doing now, and keeping your shoulder down. And as I may have said before, sometimes you want to prevent this shoulder from hiking up because it's tight. So you may want to take your hand and kind of like anchor it under your chair if that's possible. Or I've seen some people, they just kind of like to sit on their hand, whatever works for you. Or if you just want to keep it at your side, just keep your shoulder down so that it doesn't come up. You don't want this type of thing happening. So just gently bring it over to the side until you feel a comfortable stretch. You're going to be feeling it from the top towards the top of your shoulder blade, okay? So is your upper trapezius muscle. And you want to hold that, okay, for a series of 20 seconds. So it would be a 1, 1,000, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're breathing. 5, 6. I always tell people to count out loud. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And come back up to center. You can just shrug your shoulders and come back to neutral and see how that feels. For plenty of you, that'll be a bit of a stretch. I even felt a stretch when I was doing it. But if you wanted a little bit more of a stretch, same position, okay, the only thing I would say is that you can take your left-sided hand, the direction that you're going, and just with your fingertips, just very gently give yourself just a little bit of pressure. So you're not really cranking on it or anything, you're just staying tall, and you're just giving yourself a little bit of overpressure. Again, my shoulder is anchoring down, so it wants to come up. Don't let it come up. I don't care how far you bring yourself over to the side. I just want you to stop when you feel a comfortable stretch, keeping that shoulder down. If you want a little bit of overpressure, just a little bit of pressure, and you use the same 20-second hold. But that'll give you just a little bit more of a stretch if you feel like the first part that it demonstrated was a little bit easy. But for most people, that first part of just being here in this position, I even feel a stretch, But if you'd like, as you're stretching into it further for that 20 seconds, if you'd like to do a little bit of overpressure, by all means, you can just do a little bit, but you're not doing too much. You just want to do a little bit of pressure, just enough to get the stretch, and then come back. And you can do about, say, 2 to 3 on one side, and then you can certainly repeat it to the other side. So always coming back up to that good neutral posture. So that's your upper trapezius stretch. These guys run along the sides of your neck, and as we all probably know, by the end of the day or 3 o'clock, whatever time it is, you just feel it's all crunched up and crackly and stiff. So that will help to release some of that. Another one that's very important that's often overlooked is actually for the anterior part of your neck. It's called your Levator Scapulae muscle, whatever you want to call it. It's really important. It's harder, it's a deeper muscle in your neck, and so what I would normally never tell anyone to look down, what I want you to do right now is you're going to be looking, say, to 2 o'clock and looking down. So I'm not slouching, but I'm looking down, and now I'm taking my hand and gently pushing down. Okay, so I'm going to do it to this side in case you can't see, but I'm now looking to 10 o'clock. So I'm looking to 10 o'clock. Again, I'm keeping the rest of myself square, and I'm looking down, but I'm not slouching. And you're going to feel a stretch along the back of your neck. Your levator scapulae muscle goes from the base of your skull to the top of your shoulder blade. You take your hand, again, just a little bit. You might feel a stretch right here. You might just hang out there and hold it for, again, 1,000, 2, 3, and you're breathing nice and in between, 6, 7. And then you can take, again, that fingertip stretch and give yourself a little bit of overpressure. Again, don't let yourself slouch or anything. You want to keep yourself nice and tall, but you'll feel a nice stretch along the back of your neck, which is very important to help to loosen up those neck and shoulder muscles. So you count to 20. We're about 18, 19, 20, and come back up, and then just come back. So this one I like to remind people for the levator scapula, which runs along the back of your neck, your deeper muscles. You either look at, to stretch the right side, you look at 10 o'clock and look down, or if you want to stretch the right side, you look at, if you want to stretch the right side, you look at 2 o'clock and look down. If you want to stretch the left side, you look at 10 o'clock and look down. And the main thing is that you're just doing a really nice stretch, keeping your good posture, but you'll feel the back of your neck along here stretching. Okay, you can do that again, 2 to 3 repetitions on each side. Always coming back to that good neutral posture. Conversely, there's these little slips of muscles called your scalenes, which can get really tight as well. And it looks a little bit interesting to stretch it, but once you do, I think you'll really come to like this one. So this one is, if I want to stretch, say, my left scalene, which runs along here and attaches to your ribs. And again, a lot of people, I'm exaggerating, but we get stuck working behind the computer. We're all living here, you know what I mean? So we have to get ourselves out of this posture into these good habits. And then you can, even while you're checking an email or if you're on a call or something, to stretch your scalenes, you can do this. You're going to, almost like a mini upper trap stretch, you're going to bend your right ear towards your right shoulder. And now you're going to look up on a diagonal, okay? And even just doing that, I can feel a stretch right here, okay? So you want to hold that again for that 20-second hold. 1,000, 2, 3. You can look up a little bit more if you can. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then come back out of it, and then come back straight. Now again, just go slow and easy with these because they seem easy to begin with, but just go a little bit at a time because you'll be like, oh, that's not that bad. And all of a sudden you'll be like, oh wow, I really feel a stretch. So I don't want you to overstretch it because your muscle has something called a stretch reflex where if you try to stretch it too far, it pulls back like a slinky and then it gets tighter and more frustrating and harder to stretch. So again, just like nice and easy, ear towards the shoulder, then you're going to rotate and look up towards like the corner, okay? And then you're there, and again, keeping my shoulders and not moving anything else, but I'm feeling a really nice stretch along here. If you want a little bit of overpressure, again, it doesn't have to be a ton, you can give yourself just a little bit of overpressure where you're getting this like diagonal stretch of this muscle here where you can give a little bit of overpressure, but even just looking in this direction up at the corner, you'll feel a significant stretch. And again, you want to hold that 1,000 to up to 20 and then come back, okay? But less is more with these stretches because your neck muscles are doing a hard job of holding your head up all day long. So you really want to go gradually. You can always add more of a stretch later as you get a little bit looser and more comfortable with these, but the last thing we want to do is add too much force or too much at once, okay? And the only time that I would ever tell you to look down and slouch would be for this one, which is a really good stretch. I'm going to pivot a little bit so you can see me here. Is, you know, you're sitting here typing along with your beautiful posture, everything's looking fine. But now is the only time that I would ever tell you, this is for your like upper neck, your lower cervical part and upper thoracic spine. So the reason I would tell you, the only time I would ever tell you as your therapist to really look down and slouch is for this stretch. So what you do, you can lace your hands if you want to, or just kind of like hold them together and clasp them. But okay, you go from this nice beautiful posture, okay, and now you're going to just let yourself kind of roll down into it. And as I'm doing that, it's like I'm pulling down and on a diagonal, so that I'm just tucking my chin, and I'm feeling a stretch across both sides of the back of my neck, the back of my shoulder blades, into my upper back. You don't have to go super far, but I'm pulling down and out a little bit. I'm not cranking on it, I'm not yanking too much, I'm just kind of curling myself down. This one you might want to do a slightly shorter hold in the beginning. It's a little weird to get used to. You might do 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then come back up. But I mean, even with 10 seconds of that one, I promise you, you're going to feel a really great stretch in all of these cervical muscles, your upper thoracic, in between the shoulder blades that are like kind of really tight after a while. So that's a really good one. You just look down, a slight diagonal pull out with the chin tucked. Okay, even if you do it this way, I mean, I'm not even going that far down, but I still feel a stretch. So you can tailor the stretch to what feels comfortable for you, and just modify it from there. Another one that I really like, I mean, whether you want to do some shoulder rolls in between or whichever, is that a lot of times our pec muscle group gets very tight, and there's a series of different stretches that you can do, but a really nice one that you can do seated in your desk chair is to kind of, I can just place my hands behind my head here, just kind of almost like at ear height, and see if I can just open up my elbows, and again with that good posture. And, you know, you kind of feel like you're sticking your chest out a little bit, but you are. But even in this position, especially as I open my elbows more, I start to get a really great stretch of my pecs, even into the bicep a little bit. So again, I mean, I'm exaggerating. You don't want to be here because you won't feel the pec stretch. So you want to be in that nice elongated posture, like someone is pulling you from a string. Your shoulders are down, your neck is straight forward. But then you can just take your hands comfortably, placing them behind your ears, but not like pulling on your head, just again, just placing them. But then try to open up your elbows, and that active motion of just opening up your elbows and dropping your shoulders down, you feel the stretch across the front of your chest or your pectoral muscles, major and minor. If you want to go a little bit more in that stretch, then you can arch it back a little bit. Again, you can still check email or be on a conference call or so forth, or even just taking a break or standing up, but this is a really nice one to do. Again, you want to hold it maybe for 20 seconds in the beginning. If that's hard, you can certainly do it for, say, 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that sure feels like a long time. And then you come back out and you go from there. But I would start out and see how you feel. As you begin to get looser and more comfortable with these stretches, you'll find that you can hold it. It should be like a slightly uncomfortable stretching feeling, but it shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be like a yanking, tugging type of thing. If it is, then that's too much pressure. So just go to where you can. Hold the stretch, a nice low load sustained stretch. If I'd say ideally 20 seconds, but when you're just starting out, sometimes that can feel like a long time. So even if you can do, say, a 10-second stretch on some of those more challenging ones to start off with, that would be great. But I would start doing those. Those are my top 5 favorite stretches to do while you're sitting working from home at your computer. Thanks so much, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a note on email or on my website. Have a good day.